Welcome to CinePro, where we bring your favorite movies back to life with quick recaps, hidden details, and everything you missed. Our movie begins in Egypt in 3000 BC, at a time when Egypt was the cradle of civilization, ruled by the kind and beloved King Osiris. Meanwhile, his brother Set ruled all the desert lands, known for his immense strength and his desire to rule Egypt instead of his brother. One day, Osiris decides to relinquish the throne, appointing his only son Horus as the new king of Egypt. The lineage of Egyptian kings is known for their supernatural powers, making them vastly different from ordinary humans. We then shift to a thief named Bek in the market, stealing a dress to gift his beloved Zaya, so they can attend the coronation of King Horus together. At the same time, Horus is in the royal palace, preparing for his coronation ceremony. He speaks with his beloved Hathor, who congratulates him on becoming the new king of Egypt. She thanks him for the precious bracelet he gave her, which he explains will protect her from the demons that haunt her. However, if she removes it, the demons will capture her and take her to the underworld. When the coronation ceremony begins, King Osiris addresses the people of Egypt, thanking them for attending the event. He introduces his son Horus as the new king. But before placing the crown on Horus, his brother Set arrives, presenting a horn as a gift for Horus and asking him to blow it. Horus agrees, and as he blows the horn, Set's army surrounds the area, revealing that the sound was a signal for them to appear. It becomes clear that Set has been plotting something. Set confronts Osiris, declaring his intent to seize the throne. He offers Osiris a spear to duel, stating that the winner will rule Egypt. However, Osiris refuses, expressing his love for his younger brother and his unwillingness to fight him. Before Osiris can finish speaking, Set stabs him with a dagger, killing him. Proud of his actions, Set declares himself the new king of Egypt, demanding the ministers bow to him and pledge their allegiance, or face death. The ministers comply, as Set's power far exceeds theirs. Osiris speaks to his son Horus, telling him, "Your journey has begun," before dying in his arms. Enraged, Horus grabs the spear and attacks Set. The two engage in a fierce battle, transforming into monstrous forms as they use their powers. Horus attacks Set again, causing the palace columns to collapse, endangering the people below. The crowd flees, and Set's soldiers approach Horus, using shields to reflect sunlight into his eyes, blinding him. Set seizes the opportunity, overpowering Horus and gouging out one of his eyes. Before Set can finish him off, Hathor intervenes, pleading with Set to spare Horus in exchange for becoming his servant and fulfilling his every command. Set agrees, banishing Horus to the south. With this, Set's plan to rule Egypt succeeds. Over time, Set enslaves the people, forcing them to labor on his pyramid, where he plans to store all his gold and treasures. Bek escapes and goes to the palace where his beloved Zaya works as a servant under the chief architect who serves Set. Bek suggests they flee Egypt to live freely elsewhere, but Zaya refuses, insisting they must save Egypt from Set's evil. She believes Horus is the only one who can defeat Set, so she asks Bek to infiltrate Set's secret vault, steal Horus's eyes, and return them to him to restore his power. Bek agrees, stealing a map of the vault from the architect's room. At night, Bek sneaks into the vault undetected by the guards. He navigates the traps set by the architect to protect Horus's eyes, managing to retrieve one eye after falling onto a pile of gold. As scorpions approach, Bek uses the light from the eye to repel them. He returns to Zaya to inform her of his success, but the architect catches them and orders his guards to imprison them. Bek uses the light from Horus's eye to distract the guards, escaping with Zaya. Their joy is short-lived as the architect fires an arrow, striking Zaya in the heart and killing her. Devastated, Bek goes to the temple where Horus resides, offering him the stolen eye in exchange for bringing Zaya back to life. Horus refuses, attacking Bek with his spear. Bek dodges the attacks, threatening to throw the eye into the Nile if Horus doesn't help him. Reluctantly, Horus agrees, attempting to save Zaya but discovering she is already dead. Horus summons Anubis, the god of the underworld, to negotiate for Zaya's return. However, Anubis refuses, taking Zaya's soul to the underworld. Bek, distraught, claims Zaya is enslaved and unable to pass through the final gate for the dead. Horus retrieves his eye and asks Bek about the location of the other eye. Bek reveals it is in Set's pyramid and offers to help retrieve it, on the condition that Horus finds a way to bring Zaya back to life. Horus agrees, stating they have 7 days before Zaya reaches the final gate. Horus vows to avenge his father's death and reclaim his throne, but he must first retrieve his second eye to regain his full power. He and Bek set out on their journey of revenge. Meanwhile, Set learns from his architect that a thief named Bek stole Horus's eye and likely gave it to him. Enraged, Set orders his men to hunt down Horus and Bek. At the same time, Horus climbs a high mountain, calling upon his grandfather Ra, who resides in space. He asks Ra to temporarily restore his power so he can fly to space and speak with him. Ra grants his request, and Horus transforms into a beast, taking Beck with him as they fly through space to Ra's celestial ship. Horus asks Ra for help in avenging Set, but Ra refuses, warning of greater evils than Set. Ra transforms into a giant and orders Beck to be placed in the ship's hold. He then battles a massive beast named Apophis, driving it away from Earth as it destroys everything in its path. After the battle, Ra tells him that he must take revenge on Set himself to prove he is strong and capable of ruling Egypt. The guard is convinced by his words and fills a magical water bottle from the ship, as this water will weaken Set. Afterward, he takes Beck and returns to Earth. He asks Beck to fetch water for him to drink, so Beck goes to fill water from the waterfall. Suddenly, a fierce attack by Set's men occurs, and they demand to know where Horus's eye is. Before they can finish their interrogation, Horus appears and fights them along with the other guards until he defeats them. While talking to Beck, one of Set's servants strikes him with a rock, causing Horus to lose consciousness and fall from the waterfall. Beck jumps after him and tries to wake him before they hit the ground and die. Horus regains consciousness just in time and secures his spear between the rocks, saving them both from harm. Meanwhile, Set learns of Horus's promise to bring Beck's lover Zaya back to life. Set dismisses this as impossible and kills the messenger. He orders 2 other guards to pursue and eliminate Horus. Set then speaks to Hathor, Horus's lover, commanding her to find Horus to prove her loyalty. Hathor lies, claiming she searched for Horus but could not locate him. As soon as Set leaves, she uses her powers to create a sandstorm, revealing Horus and Beck in the desert. She decides to help them but is caught off guard when Set spies on her, realizing her deceit. He threatens her life, forcing Hathor to remove her protective bracelet to escape. This act summons demons who drag her to the underworld. After a struggle, Hathor reclaims her bracelet and escapes the demons, reaching the desert where Horus is traveling. Horus is at the temple of his father, King Osiris, lamenting how Set destroyed the beautiful temple and its gardens to erase the memory of the kind King Osiris, beloved by the people. Suddenly, Set's guards appear with giant serpents, chasing Horus and Beck. They hide from the serpent's fiery breath. Horus instructs Beck to distract one serpent, leading it away so Horus can attack from behind. Beck complies, and Horus mounts the serpent, tying its guardian to it. Both the guardian and the serpent fall from a high ledge. Horus escapes, but is shocked to see the temple collapsing. He and Beck flee until they encounter Hathor. She confronts the other serpent, using her powers to make it destroy itself. With both guardians defeated, Horus reproaches Hathor for siding with Set. She explains she did so to protect Horus from Set's wrath. Hathor reveals that Set's pyramid contains treasures and the second eye of Horus. If Horus retrieves it, he can defeat Set and reclaim his throne. However, the pyramid is guarded by the Sphinx, whose riddle must be solved to proceed. They seek the wise god Thoth for help. Thoth initially refuses, insisting Horus must rely on himself. Horus threatens him, forcing Thoth to assist. They journey to Set's pyramid, where Beck enters a moving chamber due to his small size. He manages to stop the mechanism, allowing the others to enter. The Sphinx presents a riddle, which Thoth solves with ease. They proceed to retrieve Horus's eye, but trigger a trap, imprisoning Horus and Hathor in a cage. The magical water bottle from Ra falls to the ground. Set appears, revealing he set the trap and attacks Thoth, stealing his wisdom and intellect. Beck takes the magical water and heads toward the fire that fuels Set's power to weaken him. Set confronts Beck, showing him Zaya's necklace and claiming Horus lied about saving her, using Beck only to retrieve the eye. Set attacks Beck, seizing the water and spilling it on the horn, causing the pyramid to collapse. Set leaves, believing he has won. Horus frees himself, and they escape the pyramid at the last moment. Beck confronts Horus about his deception, deeply hurt. Moved by Beck's words, Hathor summons Anubis, the ruler of the underworld, asking him to take Beck to the afterlife and give her bracelet to Zaya to prevent her from disappearing. Anubis agrees, but Horus protests, knowing Hathor will be vulnerable without her bracelet. Hathor insists, removing the bracelet and vanishing as demons take her. Horus mourns her loss and gives the bracelet to Beck to save Zaya. Anubis leads them to the underworld, where they reach Zaya in time. Meanwhile, Set, now transformed into a monstrous form, combines Thoth's intellect, Osiris's heart, and Horus Horus's second eye to amplify his power. Determined to dominate the world, he confronts his father, Ra, in the heavens. Set accuses Ra of favoring Osiris and condemning him to loneliness. Ra fights back with his magical spear, but Set overpowers him, seizing the spear and casting it from the ship. Set returns to Earth, summoning the monstrous Apophis to destroy the land. He plans to rebuild it afterward to glorify himself. Horus and Bek confront Set's engineer, forcing him to take them to the obelisk. Horus ascends alone to face Set, while Bek battles the engineer. At the obelisk's peak, Horus and Set engage in a fierce fight. Set, stronger than Horus, gains the upper hand. Meanwhile, Bek defeats the engineer, throwing him from the obelisk. Set prepares to strike a final blow against Horus, but Bek arrives just in time and throws his rope onto the spear, pulling it away from Horus. Horus takes advantage of the opportunity and steals the eye of Horus, throwing it to regain his strength. Afterward, Set leaves him to fall and die, but Horus sacrifices his eye to save him. He grabs onto the obelisk, and both of them fall together. Due to Horus's sacrifice, his strength returns, and he transforms into a beast. He flies quickly, carrying Bek and landing him safely on the ground. Then he flies towards Set, attacks him, breaks his wings, and causes him to fall to the ground from a great height. Set crawls on the ground, hoping to escape, but Horus finishes him off, taking his grandfather Ra's spear. Afterward, he flies into space to save Ra, giving him the spear. Ra thanks him and goes to defeat the beast Apophis, which had destroyed half of Egypt's kingdom. At that moment, Horus returns to Earth, where a little girl finds his other eye and gives it to him. He takes it from her and goes to check on Bek, but he is shocked to find him injured and dying in front of him. He takes him to his temple and places him next to his beloved Zaya. Suddenly, his grandfather Ra appears and asks how he can reward him for saving him and Egypt. Horus requests that Ra bring Bek and Zaya back to life as gratitude for their help. Ra fulfills Horus's request and restores them to life. Afterward, Horus is crowned as the king of Egypt, having proven himself worthy of ruling the land. Following the coronation, he speaks with Bek and takes the image of Bek's beloved Thoth from him. He transforms into a beast and flies toward the realm of demons to save her, and the film ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you next time.